Welcome back to Thriving in Love podcast, the podcast that challenges the status quo so couples can thrive as their authentic selves. I am your host, Sana Akand. I am an intuitive love coach, a speaker, and a writer, and I am passionate about helping women step out of their wounded energy and into their feminine energy. And that is what today's episode is all about. How I surrendered into my feminine energy. And the moment that I did that, my entire relationship changed. Let's dive in. So first things first, let's talk about what it means to be in your feminine energy. It is a buzzword all over the internet these days, the feminine and the masculine and the polarity and all of the things. But what does it actually mean? For me, being in your feminine energy means that you enjoy the soft life. You enjoy being in flow with nature, and you understand that everything has a purpose and everything is going to unfold for you in divine timing. It means that you have lucky girl energy. It means that you have queen energy. It means that you are in control of your emotions. It means that you listen to your intuition over the voices of society. It means that you are in tune with the cosmos and you understand how to use the energy of astrology with the action that is needed to birth the projects that you're here to birth the children you're here to birth, to birth creation. The biggest misconception that we have on the internet today about feminine energy is that people think that being submissive is being passive, when in reality, it's the opposite. Being submissive for me, it means that I know what I want and I use my voice to vocalize and share what I want, and then I surrender into receiving energy. And I completely let go of trying to control the outcome and trying to control how it's going to unfold. And I surrender into the energy of, okay, the masculine is going to give me everything that I want. And for me, what the masculine means is everything in my external reality, including my husband, including God, including the universe, including my friends and my business, and every single thing in my external reality, to me, is my divine masculine. And my divine feminine is everything that happens in my internal world, including my emotions, my intuition, my nourishment, my cells, my gut, my sexual energy, my sensuality, everything that comes and exudes from within out. To me, that is my feminine energy. And everything that happens in my external world, to me, that is the divine masculine responding to my internal feminine energy. So why is it so important to step out of our wounded energy where we're trying to control everything, where we're trying to make everything happen, where we're operating on this like ongoing push energy? Because you're going to burn out. Because human nature is like nature, like earth nature, where there are seasons. And when you understand the flow of your natural body, your connection to your unique vessel, that is when you can truly create magic without burning out. You could do it in a sustainable way. You can get more done by doing less. And that's my favorite thing to teach women, because we are so conditioned to do things with strategy and logic. And if we just do the trends and if we just do things the way everybody else is doing, we may have a little bit of success. But that comes from a scarcity mindset, because it means that you're relying on everything outside of you for the results that you want to see. When all of our power and the ability to manipulate energy and the ability to tap into this universal flow and be in alignment comes from us surrendering into our feminine energy and listening to our body and trusting our intuition and nourishing our gut so that we're able to differentiate between when we're feeling things in our body, is this fear and anxiety, or is this excitement? Is this, something that I'm doing because I want external validation, or is this coming from a place of joy? So we have a lot of information and feelings that come from within our body. And the moment you get curious and you start to listen to what's going on, and you start to get curious and you allow yourself to pause and question what's happening and what you're doing and what your body's trying to tell you, that is when you can start building that connection with your feminine. I used to be the type of woman who was so excited about being a boss, and I still am very ambitious. And when you step into your feminine, it doesn't mean you let go of that ambition. It means that you learn how to do it in a way that's sustainable for you. And before I began this feminine journey, I was running my business and I was burning out. I was exhausted. I was searching for all of the answers outside of me to help me propel my business. I just knew there had to be a better way. I didn't enjoy what I was doing. And I'm the type of person who needs to enjoy everything to the fullest, to the point that my husband and I lived in our own apartments because I wanted to enjoy living in New York as my own person and learn who I am without being a wife. Because the moment I got married, I moved from my parents' house into my husband's house, and I never had the opportunity to just live alone, decorate my place how I want to, cook for myself, just allow my intuition to guide me through the greatest city on earth. I did that for a year, and it completely helped me surrender into my feminine energy. So when I lived alone, I went through an entire process of de-shedding, of alignment, of embodiment, and of integration, and of learning how to balance my desire for enjoying life and taking things slowly while balancing that with a healthy masculine, not a wounded masculine. So now I am running my businesses so successfully. I'm running my podcast successfully. I am building a community online, and I am speaking on stages, and I am feeling so fulfilled by doing so much less, but making more money than I've ever made before. And I want this for every woman who is burnt out from the hustle and wants to learn a different way to be financially free and to have freedom in her life and to be able to create and cultivate her life in a way that brings joy and peace and fulfillment from deep within. So the first thing that I did is called a de-shedding process. And this part, it's going to hurt a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. It is a process of going into the depths of our thoughts and beliefs and our subconscious programming. And it is an opportunity to question why we do the things we do and come into awareness of who we are and what we want for our life. It is an opportunity for radical honesty, a hard look at your life as it is, and make a list of what is filling you up and what's draining you. Then questioning the things that are draining you. Are you operating from a place of societal programming, or is there an opportunity for you to do things differently, to choose a way to do things that align with your core beliefs? So for instance, I just assumed that because my husband is the breadwinner and I make less money, that I should do more of the household chores. And I have been operating on this system of 50-50. Everything needs to be broken up into a way that is fair and just. And what I realized is that when women are in a place of giving without nourishing and filling our own cup first, we will become resentful and we're going to feel unfulfilled. I learned that before I show up for the people that I love, I need to be so full of my own love, of my own energy. I take a bath. I move slowly into the world. I nourish my body. I create a beautiful ritual of my life like my skincare in the morning, my skincare at night, the way I put on lotion in bed, and like all of these things are me honoring my vessel, my body, me first and foremost, so that I can show up. So that awareness step, that radical honesty step is, how can I reprioritize all of the things that I have going on in my life? How can I move things from doing everything for everyone else first to doing things for myself first? And I promise you, you will have so much more energy to give to others when you operate from that place. And it is magical. It's not selfish. It's selfish to do things for others, get to a point of resentment, and demand that you're unfulfilled or that they're not doing enough, and start nagging. Because I felt that way. I started nagging my husband. I started being really bitter. I started to feel really irritable, and I was just not a pleasant person to be around. And that's not fair to my husband. He didn't ask me to cook and clean. He didn't ask me to run the household. He didn't ask me to sacrifice my needs in order to fulfill his needs first. So I had to get radically honest with myself in that moment and say, okay, who is stopping me from putting myself first? The only person stopping you is you. So question where those limitations are coming from. Question why you think it's selfish to put yourself first. Because in this world, you are the main character. And if you want to step out of that hustle and step into flow with the universe, you have to believe that the entire universe is operating in your favor. So in order to be at that energy match, you need to put yourself first. So the universe will see, oh, she's moving different. That's interesting. Let me match that energy. The second part of the process is a chakra alignment. So if you're not familiar with chakra work, I highly, highly recommend Googling what it is. And if you're interested in working with me, let me know. I'm more than happy to get started with you on the journey. So the way we do chakra alignment is we go through from the bottom to the top. And that's what so many people think is the spiritual journey. It is the spiritual awakening. It is the Kundalini awakening. It is the journey to enlightenment. And yes, in a way, it is. It is your connection to your body, your mind, and your soul. And it gets you to a place of peace and serenity. So starting with the root chakra, which is all about stability. So ground yourself in nature, put your feet in grass, and connect with this earth, with your physical body from your bottom feet up. And ask yourself, do I feel safe in my body? Do I feel safe on this planet? If not, start doing the work, the shadow work. Where is the non-safety coming from? Don't shame yourself, because a lot of it is society just not making women feel safe. So empower yourself. Maybe if you're really feeling anxious and scared about being a woman in today's world, take a self-defense class to allow your body to feel like you are capable of taking care of yourself in the face of danger. The next one is your sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra is all about pleasure and your intimacy and your sensual essence. And this is where you really have to ask, do you feel safe in your body to express your sexual energy and to be creative and to be passionate? And where are the blocks that are stopping you from expressing your creative expression? Something that I did was I got out of my comfort zone by exploring new fashion and new makeup and new ways of expressing myself with my beauty and my energy out into the world. I dyed my hair and I got Rent the Runway and to experiment with fashion. And it was a really fun time to connect with like who I want to be and how I want to dress and all of the fun things. The next one is your solar plexus, which is all about your confidence. So you'll see as you're doing this work, when you find that root chakra is, stable and balanced, and then your sacral is stable and balanced. Once you get to the solar plexus work, you're going to see that, okay, I feel really good in my body. I'm working out to feel better about being in my body. So now, how can I express myself out to the world? Where does my confidence come from? Where am I lacking confidence? A way that I do that is I see on social media, who am I drawn towards? Who am I jealous of? And who do I want to be more like? And that allows me to be inspired. Or if I'm triggered and I say, oh, like that's too much, where's that coming from? Because they're allowed to express themselves as freely, giving you permission to express yourself as freely as you'd like, without judgment, as you want to, because you're worthy of that. So a lot of the solar plexus work comes from self-worth, which is a lot of our masculine energy, but it also needs to be stabilized, because in order for you to awaken to your divine feminine and your feminine chakras, that's what you need to do the work. Before we get to the heart, because for me, it comes from the bottom three, the top three, and then we meet in the middle in the heart, which is what activates our love energy, and it really connects us to our partners. The next one for me is the throat chakra. Do you feel safe to express your truth? Do you know your truth? Do you know what you believe in, your core values? Are you a good listener? Are you able to listen before responding? Are you reactive? Or are you able to detach from that reaction and really listen and respond? And are you cool, calm, and collected in your voice? Do you have conviction in your voice? And then we go to the third eye, your intuition and your connection to how you see the world. And that's why this is such a feminine energy, because you become consciously aware of how the universe is speaking to you through art, through nature, through people, interactions, every single thing. Your third eye becomes crystal clear and you're able to feel like the universe is speaking to you in everything, and you're connected to your intuition and you trust that the world is conspiring in your favor. And then we have our crown chakra, which is our connection to the divine, which is the way we channel and download all of the information that is from the higher planes, from our ancestors, from our God, from our source, from our inner wisdom. It is how we connect our channel to something greater than us, our higher self, what have you. And when you receive that, so this is why that's called enlightenment, right? You're able to connect with a higher plane and receive all this information and all these downloads. People think that they are enlightened and they become spiritual gurus and teachers at this stage. That is a very masculine way to do spirituality. So the way that I teach people is, once you do the chakra alignment and you get to that stage, keep going. And the next stage is embodiment. So now you have all of this wisdom, you have all of these skills, you have all of this balance and alignment for being a really beautiful human being. Now, how can we channel and bring all of that information down and actually integrate it into our everyday life? How can we return into our body as a human and learn how to bring all of this wisdom into our everyday life? And that is the process of slow living. And you start to move through life in a way that you know that everything is working out for you. You're connected to the cosmos. You know how to work with that energy, and you really know how to feel your feelings in the moment versus allowing it to fester and build up in your body because you just did so much work and you don't want to have to store all this new energy and then have to do it all over again. You start to really make your self-care your everyday practice so that you are living in alignment in every single moment. And this is when you can really have fun with it and create your life based on this new information. And you have just cleared so much space during this process because you got rid of everything that wasn't in alignment for you, and you created space for things to come in. And now you can create your life based on pure curiosity and joy, step by step. So now you go back to your root chakra. I told my husband, I really want us to get out of New York, and I need peace in my life. I want stability. I don't want to be in the high energy of New York. I'm curious about what life would be like just living a slower pace of life. So we moved to LA. So with every evolution that we have, I literally just go back through the chakras and do another balancing act with new information, new wisdom. So that's another thing. Like, people think as soon as they reach the system the first time and reach peace, they're done and they have nothing else to do and they're just like living life. And that's beautiful and that's fine and that is your prerogative. But if you're craving more in life, I just want you to know that there are unlimited possibilities for you to keep evolving and growing and grounding and coming back into your body and de-shedding and going through a death and rebirth process over and over and over again if that's what you want. And that's what I want. I want a really full life. I want 100 lifetimes in one life. I want to make the most out of the life that I have here on earth. So I go through the process over and over again. So when I moved to LA, we were going through peace, we were sitting in nature, we were drinking less. And then I was like really experimenting with my new look. I was doing, a little influencer events, and I was really tapping into that new version of me that I was doing public speaking. So I was using my throat chakra. I was really just allowing the universe to surprise me with whatever it wanted to surprise me with. And then I was craving stability. So we moved to Seattle, bought a home, and I really wanted to set down roots, and I really wanted to feel grounded and to feel stability and safety and harmony with my husband, of us building a home together and doing creative projects together and co-creating the life that we want to create together, and really just leading a life with my intuition first. This is the process that I use, and this is the process that I teach with my clients. And depending on where you are at the stage that you're at, you can always level up if it's something that you want and you desire. Don't shame yourself for wanting more when your life is probably already pretty great, because you're allowed to make yourself the main character and you're allowed to thrive in life the way you want to. You don't get the things you want by not allowing yourself to have them. So give yourself permission to keep growing and to keep thriving. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, it really helps me if you could subscribe to my channel. And if you're on Spotify or Apple, please rate the podcast and leave a review. I am excited to keep putting these out and connecting with you guys. I'm working on a course that is going to be all about Divine Feminine 101, how to tap into your feminine flow. So if you're curious about the launch on that, follow me on Instagram, where I'll post all the updates, or subscribe to my newsletter on my website, www.sanaakand.com. You'll be the first to know when the launch happens. I also really want to create a community around the people that are taking the course. So it'll probably be hosted in a private community forum where everyone can communicate and talk and share their experience and learn from each other. And I'll be there giving support as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.